Right now, there's a voice running through your head. What if it just stopped? What if you couldn't think anymore? Not your name, not the word I, not even the idea of thinking itself. Would you still be you? This isn't hypothetical. It actually happened. A man had a stroke. He woke up one morning. He saw his wife's face, and no words came out. His mind still had thoughts. He still had feelings, but the container for those thoughts was gone. Doctors call this aphasia. But what happened to him can't be explained by a diagnosis alone. He didn't just lose language. He lost the bridge connecting him to himself. And that's where a deeply uncomfortable question begins. We think of language as a tool, something we use to communicate, just sounds coming out of a mouth. But neuroscientists have been asking a much stranger question for decades. Without language, is thought even possible? That voice narrating your mind right now as you read the sentence, that's language. And there's a theory that this voice might be the very thing holding your sense of self together. It's called linguistic determinism. The idea is simple. We think in language. Take the language away and thought itself starts to collapse. But then, something strange happened. In 1970s Los Angeles, a girl was found in a room. Her name was Genie. From birth until age 13, she was locked away, never spoken to. When she was found, she couldn't walk. She couldn't speak. Scientists began teaching her language, words, sentences, grammar. She learned nouns, verbs, colors, numbers. But she never once formed a complete sentence. This is where everything changed. Researchers discovered something chilling. There's a critical window for acquiring language. Miss it, and you can never fully get it back. Genie had thoughts. She had emotions. But she had no way to weave them into full sentences, into logic, into structure. She could draw. She could express feeling. But she could never answer the question, why? But that wasn't even the worst part. There's an even stranger case. Adults who acquired language completely normally, then suffer damage to a specific brain region, keep every word. But they lose grammar entirely. They know the words. Food, eat, I. But they can't string them into a sentence. Not, I ate the food. Just I, food, eat. The thought is there. The meaning is there. But the bridge connecting them, grammar itself, is gone. And this tells us something deeply unsettling. What we call thinking isn't just images floating through our head. It's the process of linking those images together, in sequence, in cause and effect, in logic. And the tool that does that linking is language. Without it, you can still see the world, but you cannot understand it. And this is the part almost nobody talks about. There are cases of children raised in total isolation, so-called feral children. Some of them, even decades after being found, never fully acquired language. But here's the strange part. They weren't lifeless. They still laughed. They still grieved. They still felt fear. They still formed attachments. Emotion functions perfectly well without language. What they lacked was something else entirely. The ability to think about themselves. Researchers observed that a human without language becomes trapped in the present moment. They cannot organize the past into a story. They cannot project the future into a narrative. When you say, I used to be like this as a kid, that sentence is a story woven from language. Without language, you have no story. You just have moment after moment after moment. And this is where we arrive at a genuinely strange question. The thing you call I, is that your body? Is it your memories? Or is it the narration constantly playing in your head? The voice made of language and nothing else. Neuroscientists call this inner speech. Most of us talk to ourselves silently all day long. I'm hungry. That person seems off. Why do I do this? Take that voice away. What's left of you? Some deep meditators describe brief moments where this inner voice goes completely silent. They describe it in two ways at the same time: total peace and total terror. Because in that moment, even the sense of I starts to blur. Think about it. We define ourselves through language. Our name, our job, our beliefs, the story of our past. All of it is a house built from the material of words. If that house collapses, what's left standing? This was never really about language. This is about how fragile the frame is. The frame that your entire sense of self is built on. That certainty you feel right now that I am me. It's not an illusion, but it's not solid ground either. It's hanging from a single thread made of language, and the moment that thread snaps, a human being comes face to face with the raw question of what actually makes them human in the first place. Let's go back to that voice in your head right now, the one reading this sentence to you as we speak. If that voice disappeared, the world wouldn't disappear. The version of you that you've always known would. We spend our whole lives thinking of language as just a tool for communication. But maybe it's something else entirely. Maybe it's the last thread that lets us tell ourselves the one story that matters. The story that says, I exist. So the next time that inner voice goes quiet, even for a second, don't be afraid of the silence. Whatever remains in that silence, without a single word attached to it, that might be the realest version of you there ever was.